Good afternoon. I'm Dara Bunjon. I'm the food enthusiast here at Jaymore Living. I'm a food writer, food stylist, PR maven, and a frustrated baker. Those of you joining us live, drop your questions into the comment box, and I will check from time to time, and we'll ask our guests, or you can ask me any questions you might wish. Today's guest is Dawna Pitts, a transplanted South Korean via Australia, now living in Phoenix, Arizona. Her mission is to make a difference on how people think of Asian cuisines and entertaining. Her book, Entertaining is My Love Language, is the ultimate guidebook to hosting and entertaining. She is the happiest when she sees her loved ones and friends enjoying themselves in her home. Pitts shares recipes from around the world, including her Korean heritage, with easy to cook recipes using easy to find ingredients. Let's welcome Dawna.
Hi.
Hi, Dawna. Dawna and I were chatting a little bit beforehand, so now we're close personal friends. Dawna, other than what's on your other than this show, what's on your plate today? What are you going to be doing?
I am actually going out with my husband and some of his co-workers to celebrate something that he did professionally and for dinner. And my son, before that, my son is bringing his girlfriend and they are looking to get a little mini baking lesson. So I need to be prepared for that. So that's my agenda for today.
Oh, it sounds like a full day. You said baking. I sit there, I go like this, I challenge myself. I have to bring a dessert for Thanksgiving. And why don't we hit that right off the bat? You have a countdown to how to make Thanksgiving a success, and then I'll talk about what I'm making for Thanksgiving. So,
Yes,
what
I
is the
think
countdown?
my Thanksgiving countdown actually goes for 7 days, and I know it may sound a little crazy for some people, but by dividing it to that many days, you don't have to stress over the day before or the day of so much. That allows you to relax and actually have a happy, relaxed Thanksgiving. So, 1 week before, my list is spruce up your house for throw out some pumpkin decorations and spruce up your guest bathrooms and stuff like that, and plan your menu. And you already know by 1 week before who are joining the feast. So reach out to those people, family and friends, and ask them for one dish. One dish is not too much to ask. And actually, from my experience, people love bringing their favorite recipe. And when people like it, they get that little brag. Um, so it's more than okay to reach out to them and ask for one recipe per family or per household, and then you know what other dishes and other responsibilities you have. And then I order my turkey, so I know where, what store, and when to pick it up. And 6 days, it may sound crazy, but I set my table only except the fresh florals. I set my table with glasses and plates upside down, just in case it gets dusty. That way, it's all laid out. You can walk around it, see if you can add something, or if you want to change or something. It's done. And play music playlist. You have to have a good music to have a good get together. And Thanksgiving is little different than any other gatherings throughout the year, so I would put together music list. And of course, now my son's 17, so I would have his help and then have it one button ready. Check the volume to ready to go, because Thanksgiving Day you'll be busy and some people might show up earlier, and then you're getting a hectic mode. And you plan the menu yesterday. So So you already know what beverages you are serving that needs to be served cold. So put that all in the refrigerator. So one less thing to worry about. 5 days before Thanksgiving is my favorite. Put together your outfit, because when you put together your outfit, when you have a little extra minutes, you can go through the colors, accessories, shine the shoes, everything's all composed, ready to go. Thanksgiving Day, you shower, get your ready and slip on, and you're ready to enjoy the party. 4 days, make cranberry sauce. Cranberry sauce can be made days in advance, so it's more than safe. Make it, spend your time, make it perfect, seal it tight, refrigerate. 3 days, make desserts. Desserts can be made 3 days in advance and it will taste amazing and still very fresh. 2 days, I prepare an appetizer for Thanksgiving because you need to have something, a small bite. There's no need for a big size appetizer platter because we're about to have a huge feast. But just a little bite for the mingling hour until everybody arrives. So I typically serve one tiny bites of lobsters or smoked scallops with beautiful sauce, or sometimes just a bowl of spiced nuts that's fall flavor is all you need. So I prepare that 2 days before, and one day before I prepare the vegetable dish, and I write down the reheating instruction, how many degrees, how long in the oven, put it on the post-it, and then put it in the refrigerator. And the Thanksgiving Day, I just have turkey and gravy and assemble everything I have prepared all week. That's my go-to plan.
Yeah. I the After I got married and I was having the in-laws and some of their family over for Thanksgiving, I planned and I was making cranberry sauce from scratch. I was doing a whole turkey and I had notes up on my cabinet with tape. So I knew what I was doing. And I
That's so
made
cute.
napkin holder rings. I went full Martha Stewart. And um, I remember my father-in-law was almost a scene from the show Mad About You. He looked at the cranberry sauce and had all this stuff. He says, "What happened to the cranberry sauce from the can?"
Oh, no, he did not.
He did. But that was the last time I put in. Nobody ate the dark meat, so then the next time I just did turkey breast, and it's a learning curve. So when we started this conversation, I am taking dessert
Yes.
to a Friendsgiving table. So I was thinking pumpkin cheesecake. So before you came on, I was searching out recipes, some with a water bath, some not. And I look at it this way: if it's a catastrophe, I'm making it the day before, I'll just go buy something. So that's my baking story, everyone. So, what was or who was your inspiration, or who or what created this passion in you for entertaining? Where did this come from?
I think one of, oh, not one, many of my favorite memories are being at somebody's home and having a great time. Maybe because I moved around a lot, country to different country, but somehow those like spending time at somebody's home, sharing a meal, are my favorite memories. I love restaurants, don't get me wrong, but over than going to some restaurants. So I wanted to give that to other people. It's about building feel good memories, and it's such a good feeling when some friends of mine say to me like, "Oh, we had the best time. Thank you so much." Or somebody tells me, "Our kids will remember that dinner forever. They haven't had that before. They will remember it. They loved it. They'll remember it for a long time. Thank you so much." And then I feel so good. I feel like, oh, I did that. Good for you. And then, when you feel that good about it, you kind of want to do it again and again. So, like, I keep doing it.
So you're addicted to entertaining.
Guilty.
Guilty. Before I forget, it doesn't show up that well. Here is the book, which is Entertaining is My Love Language. And you can see and hear that Dawna is just so passionate about it. So, I mean, it's beautiful, beautiful pictures, la, 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 la.
Thank
Get the
you.
book. And her website is Entertaining is My Love Language, and there's tips there. And also her Instagram, Entertaining is My Love Language. So
Yes.
you can follow Dawna and see what she's up to. Now, with entertaining, do you entertain a lot or once a month? Why do you entertain? Tell me more about what you normally do.
There is not regular things. Well, we have some traditions at our home, but like for example, Super Bowl. I am not a football person, but my husband, my son are crazy for football. So I started hosting Super Bowl every year, and it became our tradition. And I'm not even American. um but we have this menu everybody remembers, like, oh yeah, that it's a Super Bowl tradition at the Pits. Other than that, I entertain when there are more excuses that I can find to celebrate. I don't hesitate if a friend of mine all of a sudden got a big promotion. I'm like, everybody's, let's do it, come for the toast, and then I'll just throw something. Or in summertime, we love to travel, and where I live, summertime is very, very hot, and the kid is out of school, so we travel during the summer, sometimes longer time. So during those months, I don't really entertain unless I had some lucky times that I was able to entertain my friends from United States in different countries because they flew in to spend vacation with us. So to answer your question, I don't have regular entertaining schedule, but I'm always and always looking for excuses to celebrate.
I liked one of your quotes in the book. Um, and you said, having a great taste in China, food and entertainment, etc., is nothing compared to having great taste in people. And it's true, the people that you have around the table make the meal that much better. I'm assuming that's what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Now, you have a chapter in the book about catering to special diets, vegans, allergies, etc. Any general tips you can offer people? Because I don't do it. I do this one meal, I just rotate the guest. I get prime rib on sale this time of year, and I go, I'm doing a prime rib dinner. Would you like to come? So if they're not eating meat, they're not going to come. But you have
Yes.
many, many tips for people in dealing with dietary restrictions and entertaining them. What are some of your tips?
Absolutely. I think there are more and more dietary restrictions these days. And my number one tip for hosting them is separating the ingredients and make it into more of a serve yourself buffet. For example, big salad buffet with items, components for the salad bar is all separated, even though for example, shrimp and chicken are both protein and not vegan friendly. Don't put it in the same bowl because one guest could eat everything but just allergic to shellfish. So you don't want to mix chicken and shrimp. So one of those salad bars, you have plenty of everything, but separate every component on the big table. And when there are multiple dietary restrictions, have your guests serve it. It's nice that being served when you're being entertained. I love it. But not everybody understands exactly, oh, so and so's restriction and that and that. So by having them serve themselves, it just takes out the uncomfortableness or repeating same questions or things like that.
Great. And I already know the answer to this, but
Okay.
if people are planning to entertain, how important is that checklist?
Checklist is so important, but it's not important enough to make you stressed out. People don't want to see stressed out host or hostess. People remember all kinds of different things from being in your party or being hosted by you or your family. But one thing in common they don't want to see or they felt not as welcome is when people see stressed out host or hostess. So having a checklist done. That way, it's all laid out. Get them done as much as you can. And then when that is done, then you get to have the relaxed mode and enjoy your company. It is one of those moments that you have to remind yourself, why did I invite all these people? What was this celebration for? Instead of like, oh, I'm going back to the checklist. Oh, I forgot that one thing. It's time to let that all go. And I actually did this to celebrate and have good time, and I'm just going to do that.
So enjoy the party.
Yes, it is
Enjoy.
party after all. It's
Yes.
there to enjoy.
Um, Now we know that you like to entertain, but what was the impetus to say, oh, I'm going to share this. I'm going to write a book. How long was the process for you?
The whole production of my book was only 15 months, I would say, but before that, it's been circling around my mind for a long time. So some people told me, oh, you should write a cookbook or you should write a recipe book. But it's something that I always believe that those recipe books need to be written by professional chef, which I am not, or by professional test kitchens where my kitchen is not. So I decided thinking, how about I just share some of my tips about entertaining, but in a smaller home size of it? And I started looking at some books. There are, as everybody knows, there are millions of recipe books and cookbooks. And there are entertaining books written by amazing wedding planners, opulent event planners. They do this huge, amazing events, but in real life, if you're lucky, you get to have that maybe once or twice in your life, planning your wedding and maybe your 50th anniversary. It's not a regular thing for most of people. I wanted to touch on everybody's living, that what we can do in our home out of our little nest. So I had just hosted my dear friend's lunch at my house, and that following weekend, with some other friend, we were hiking, and she was telling me how much she appreciated the luncheon I did for her birthday. And she said, you were so happy, that made everybody happy, that made my birthday so special. Entertaining is your love language because you show your love entertaining. And then that was like, oh, bingo moment. That's going to be the title. Um, and around that time, my son was learning how to drive, meaning that pretty soon I would gain that much time not having to drive him around. He was growing up.
Right.
So, like, I'm gaining time in my life, daily basis, and I have that thought. So I just went for it.
Great answer.
Thank you.
In the book, you talk about SOS dinners. What are they?
Yes. It's just one of those moments. Your boss's boss is flew in and landed in your town and it's your only opportunity to impress, or your mother-in-law is coming tomorrow and she doesn't feel like going out to a restaurant. mm, what do? You just have a moment to put together a dinner, and we all have been there, and then there are some pressure. It's not like, oh, okay, we're just going to make it everything easy and forget about everything. It's just still you have to impress and want to put something together correctly in a snap. Those are SOS dinners.
Well, you have recommendations in the book. We're not going to give everything away here.
Thank you.
I I find that, dinner gatherings or dinner parties, everybody congregates in the kitchen. Not everybody has an open plan.
Absolutely.
Um, there are folks who are like me who like to hang out in the kitchen. You have a chapter on interactive dinners. These
Yes.
seem perfect for those times. You want to
Yes.
tell people about that?
Yes, interactive dinners are so much more intimate and great for memory building. I even do more interactive dinners once my son became kind of a teenager. That stage, he's talking less and less, and from being chatty all the time, and the answer becomes like one or two words. But then you just sit down in dinner table and building dinners. It could be tacos, it could be spring
Right.
rolls, it could be shabu shabu or anything. If you're just building your own dinner and the conversation more opens up, and people just love actually making their bites exactly how they want it. Because how can you know? Even the best chefs in the world, they cannot please everybody. But if you build your own bite, you know you're going to love it. And when you are eating what you love with great conversations, it's the
That's
best.
Well, to me, the dinner table has always been the center of love. I was raised in a
Absolutely.
family that, there was no reading the newspaper, no TV. You sat down and you talked about your day. So I think
Yes.
my passion for food always brings me close to that family feeling of love and comfort and protection.
Yes.
And And I feel that same way. Even going out to a restaurant with friends, my greatest joy is to have conversation while dining. That that to
Yes.
me is family. Um, let's see, we're going a little long here, but I want to, let's see, hang out in the kitchen. If you do a lot of travel, but
Yes.
if you could move today to any country other than the US, where would you like to live?
I've asked that question before, but I love living in US. I have to say, because I have lived in two different countries. The both are great countries. But to me, places are places. It's people who make the place you want to be in. And I am very honored, and it is my husband and my biggest privilege
Right?
to become parents and being able to raise our son here. And I kind of relived all this life watching him grow and raising him, and having that memory here in the States makes makes here home for me.
Right. Um, Not everybody can entertain with a flush budget. They can't serve
Agree.
lobster and things of that nature. Um, any tips you can offer? I like right now, none of the kids want the fine china.
Oh, yeah.
I have Minton, I have Staffordshire, and I'd love to set a beautiful table. I was thinking, you tell me that they can't. they can go to Goodwill and find serving pieces and things unusual.
Absolutely.
Do you have any little tricks or places that you go that you can recommend?
You said goodwill, and that is beautiful example. And now I have collected nice pieces over the years and things like that. And my husband and I worked hard for many years so we could maybe spend a few extra dollars on lobster, but we always want that way. And so I know all how that all goes. I have shopped at garage sales. Some of the pieces that I refurbished when I bought those from garage sales, I still use it. And the best part of that is I cannot find that anywhere else. I cannot just order it. And finding some secondhand items and making it to yours is great advice. And as far as the food goes, go for more vegetable, less protein. It's healthier. Um, and when you buy less protein and then go on more grains and vegetables, your grocery bill goes down drastically. And that's actually how I grew up in eating Asian food. We are not typically served when we have beef a big chunk of steak, which costs a lot of money. Usually it's shaved beef, thinly sliced, tossed in with other vegetables, served with some grain. So when you have that beautifully composed dinner, you have your grain, vegetable, and meat, and you are still getting your meat, but the budget goes down quite a bit.
Yep.
Oh, and decorations, flowers could be very costly. So I always encourage people look around your backyard. I mean, if your herb or rosemary is having a huge growth, make some arrangement out of it. It will smell beautiful on the table anyway. So you don't always have to feel like, oh, it's going to be proper dinner. I have to go to florist and spend this much amount of money for flowers, but it's not that way at all. I think some homemade arrangement out of your garden is always beautiful.
Terrific. So I just want to remind people, Entertaining is My Love Language by Dawna Pitts. And I have
Thank
my
you.
little questions that I ask at the end of the show. So follow her on Instagram, Facebook, and just love talking to you. And I think there's a lot to be learned. Some things are not automatic for everyone. So do reach out to her if you have any entertaining questions. I'm sure she can help you out. So, my final questions. What was the
Yes.
best bite you had all week?
It was actually yesterday. It was very, very simple. It was the simplest sponge cake layered with orange navel segments, and insane amount of fresh whipped cream. I layered it, put it into a shape, chilled it overnight, and after dinner with my husband and my son, I sliced it. It was so good. It was one of those moments you don't have to complicate everything for it to be great. It was simple is great, and it was great.
Sounds good to me. I have to leave here, the show, and go figure out where my best bite's going to come from.
Thank you
If,
so much. I loved talking with you.
well, I have one or two questions more.
Okay.
If you could go back and give your 18-year-old self a piece of advice, what would it be?
I want to say be more present, sorry. Enjoy the moment. Don't worry too much. Have faith, kind of a top. But I understand it's hard lesson for 18-year-olds. As just like many other 18-year-olds, you are not certain where your life is exactly going. And I wasn't overly confident and kind of uncertain about things here and there. But now I look back, I had no reason to do that. Um, So I want to tell my 18-year-old self, um, look for the beauty around you and just enjoy and savor the moment, and but no regrets, because that kind of a talk is a tough talk to 18-year-olds. As I said
Right.
before, my son's 17, so he would say, like I said, savor the moment, look at the beauty around you. He'll be like, I am, mom, I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I would tell me
If
many
you,
years ago.
yeah, if you wake up tomorrow morning with a new talent, what would the new talent be?
Oh, hands down, surfing. I know that has nothing to do with entertaining, hosting, or food, but every time I see somebody gliding down that huge wave and poking through that hole inside the wave, I just get like a rush. I want to know what that feels like.
Like, well,
I just want to know that so bad, and I haven't completely given up yet, but so that would be my dream wish.
okay. And finally, what didn't I ask you that I probably should have?
Hmm. I have to say, you should ask me what are you doing for New Year's Eve this year? Because I am so excited for New Year's Eve, because my brother and his family, the cutest family, are visiting us here in Phoenix, and we go over there to visit them. We did last year, but for them to come over, stay at my house, it's been 7 years. So even though my brother and I are biggest fans of each other and we're very close, but his crazy busy work schedule and kids schedule, my sister-in-law's schedule, it's hard. So it's been 7 years. So they are arriving December 30th. So I decided, okay, I'm throwing a fun party. So my dear friend, event planner George Abram, and I started planning already, and I am so excited.
That sounds wonderful. I want to thank you for joining us, Dawna. The best of the holiday season, and enjoy family. You
Thank
know,
you. We will.
family and friends, they make it all, don't they?
Totally. The
All the
main
best.
components of life. Thank you so
Yes,
much for having me.
my pleasure. All right, everyone. I'm just going to go over a couple notes. I'm reaching for them because I can't memorize anything. Okay, let's see. The Food Enthusiast will return in 2 weeks when my guest will be Sandra Gutierrez, an acclaimed food journalist, professional cooking instructor, recipe developer, and author of 4 cookbooks. Her recent tome, Latinaismo, home recipes from the 21 countries of Latin America, is gathering accolades from New York Times, Saveur, Chicago Times. She is considered one of the top national experts on Latin American foodways and on the Southern regional cuisine of the United States. She has been awarded the La Dames d'Escoffier MFK Fisher Grand Prize Award for Excellence in Food Writing, and her work has been recognized as part of a permanent food exhibit at the Smithsonian National Museum of American History. So she will be here on November 30th. So do tune in. And the book that she's written, Tina Ismo, I'm not pronouncing this right, has over 300 recipes. One book is in English, same book is done in Spanish. Food tidbit, we have the food issue out for JMOR. It is on the stands. So look for it here in Baltimore. And if not in Baltimore, you can go to the website, jmoreliving.com, and sign up to get on the mailing list, and it can be mailed to you. And then there's the website as well. So in this issue is my recipe for the chocolate mint cake and marshmallow icing. So don't miss that. Randy Ra, my restaurant writer, has numerous stories in there. And at the end of the issue is a story I wrote about being a cookbook junkie. Monthly, Jay Moore is giving away $50 gift cards to some of your favorite local restaurants. Visit jaymoreliving.com/contest to enter to win. If you need to reach me, you can reach me at food@jaymoreliving.com or Instagram @DaraCooks. All shows are immediately archived in video form on Jay Moore Living's Facebook page and jaymoreliving.com. Feel free to dig into our video archives of past shows. We truly appreciate it when you share our show with friends and family. Wishing you the best of the Thanksgiving holiday. May you enjoy friends and family around the table. Reach out to friends if you have an extra place. There's probably someone who would enjoy sitting at your table. May your plates always, always remain full. I will see you next week, in 2 weeks, on November 30th. Happy Thanksgiving.